Hey y'all, welcome to Prepper Friday. I'm Madden from Self-Reliance Publishing, and in this video we're going to be talking about using a lever action as a utility rifle for hunting and defense. Now I think most people will agree that a lever action makes a fine hunting rifle. Years ago, 30-30 lever action was one of the most common deer rifles out in the woods, but lately they've lost some market share to bolt action rifles and the Magnum calibers, as well as some semi-automatics. But that doesn't make them any less effective now than they were back in the day. This particular rifle is a Marlin 1894 CST. So it's got a 16.5 inch barrel. It's chambered in 357 mag, so to shoot 357 or 38 special. And it's got a 8-round tubular magazine. And this would make a reasonable weapon for hunting deer-sized game out to about 100 yards or so. And actually, with the longer barrel, it's a decent choice for black bear and similar sized game as well. Some animals that might be considered marginal with a 357 mag out of a revolver with a shorter barrel are a little bit more reasonable to take with the extra power you get out of a longer barrel. So like I said, this would be good for a deer-sized game out to about 100 yards or so, which where I hunt is about the longest shot I'm going to take anyways. With the light power 38 special, you could also take small game with this as well. It might seem overkill to take rabbit and squirrel with a 38 special, but the bullet doesn't expand when it hits a small game like that, so there's actually less damage done to the tissue than you might think. So most people would agree with me that they make good hunting weapons, but where people might tend to disagree with is where I say they make an adequate home defense rifle as well. Now I'm not talking about using this to go join a militia, do militia activities, or any sort of military type tactics. That's not what I'm talking about here or on my channel. I am going to restrict my firearm coverage to hunting as well as self-defense. And in my opinion, this makes an adequate self-defense gun. With 8 rounds, many people would say it doesn't have the magazine capacity necessary for a good self-defense weapon, but I feel that magazine capacity tends to be overrated when it comes to self-defense, especially today. When you look at the statistics, the average number of shots fired in a civilian gunfight is around 3. So with an 8-shot capacity that I have here, I have more than double, almost triple the average number of shots fired. And you say, okay, well, if that's just the average, you don't want to prepare for the average. And I do agree with that. But if you, again, look at the civilian gunfights that are recorded and are available to review, reloads are a factor in almost none of those gunfights. So again, I tend to think that magazine capacity is overrated when it comes to self-defense, and I believe that 8 for a home defense weapon is perfectly adequate. I'm blessed in that I live in North Carolina, which is a very gun-friendly state, and I'm legally allowed to own an AR-15 and an AK, and I have both of those. But if you live in California or many of the northeastern states, you might not be so lucky. You might have to live with laws that I would consider unconstitutional, but just because you live in such states doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have tools to defend yourself. As far as I know, this rifle right here would be legal in all 50 states in the United States. And it would be legal in many countries too that might have laws that would outlaw an AR-15. Something else to keep in mind is that if you do any kind of traveling in a vehicle and you want to take a weapon with you to help defend yourself, something like this might get you less attention than an AR-15. And if you happen to get stopped or searched by a police officer, you're probably going to fare better with this than in some states than you would with AR-15 or something else that would be considered an assault weapon. Obviously, you'd want to do your research before you went out and actually know what the laws are instead of just blindly saying, okay, I can take this, it's going to be perfectly fine. You definitely want to do your research ahead of time, but this would be a good option and at the same time be perfectly adequate when it comes to defense. Those were just a couple of quick thoughts on the use of a lever action as a utility rifle for both hunting and defense. I plan on doing more videos about this particular rifle, as well as the combo of this 357 mag along with a 357 revolver. I'll be doing more videos about that down the line. As always, I appreciate every like, every comment, and every subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.